Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are tied up 1-1. This is the series we were hoping for. This is the series that we knew was going to be pretty close. And GLuck is just taking these teams to the limit, man. It looks like this team may be potentially better than BlossoM. BlossoM, however, had a great game there in Game 2, tying us up. We're jumping right into Sky Temple, which will be our map for Game 3. The map choice of BlossoM.
Yep, Game 2. They took it back from the Tracer Mafia. Come from GLuck. They tried it twice. I think they're saying it now. We take Hanzo. Try it once again. Due to Hanzo, you felt it. You felt that pain in Game 2. Try it once again. I think we're going to see a similar type of draft coming out from both teams here, as we will very likely to have Hanzo open once again.
This is the first time, though, that GLuck will have first pick in this series. So you can't get the Tracer and the Malfurion, and it's your favorite, the Uther Band, coming in already. So this is where it gets real interesting.
If you leave Hanzo open, we'll take it, because that Genji Uther pair up will be destroyed by our first ban already.
I think they're kind of trying to say, like, we get Tracer or Hanzo. Ban the Tracer, we take the Hanzo. This is really smart. Like, this is like what Miracle, I think, failed to understand about what you could do with first pick. Because if you have first pick, you don't want an S tier hero if your opponent's just going to immediately take the tool away. But if you're second pick, you can get both. In this case, Tracer's banned. They can take Hanzo because he's obviously much stronger than Genji in terms of what he can do alone. Like, no matter who Hanzo's paired with, he's good. Now, BlossoM's Genji block in here is, sure, potentially strong. So is Greymane. I would like the Greymane a lot more, but they don't have Uther. And GLuck, I have this pretty strong suspicion GLuck is going to draft Tyrael again. And that's going to take a lot of the power away from this for BlossoM as well.
Yeah. Very likely, as it'll be harder for Genji to get the kills with the shield, ETC.
Oh, not doing it. Not yet, at least. Stukov, a great pick for the Hanzo. Sustained damage for all those boss fights and shrine control disputes.
This is a big bet for GLuck. Oftentimes when there were Genji and Greymane from the other side, they come in only when they want the kills, right? Only when they want those resets. But if that fails, they went into silence. And it really costed their own lives. It was a big bet. Last time when I think Ace played a few times, and also a few of the other teams, BlossoM from a few days ago, and also Ballistics once. It worked with an ETC because they can provide that extra CC with that silence, and Hanzo by that time will be alive because of that silence. And they're trying to have that one work against this Genji and Greymane. Is it going to work with GLuck? I have not seen yet.
Okay, Rhaegar and Dahaka. Still no solo laner for GLuck yet that will face against Dahaka, but Malthael is still a really viable option here. Tyrael, not really, I don't think the solo tank BlossoM wants, but that's the one thing you're worried about if you are thinking about dropping that Malthael into the board. But let's see, because talk about what Stukov can do in the early game with ETC and how many picks he can get and how he limits Genji's mobility. But on this map, the lanes are so far apart, it's tough to actually get the power of the ETC in early game. It looks like they're trying to just control Gondar's hero pool. A new Brock ban comes back to mind. Right, these are, in my opinion, like by far Gondar's best two heroes, and I can't even tell which one he's better at, but he's gonna be able to play neither.
Stitches.
Okay, sure, but that's
yes,
I'm talking about in this
meta,
meta. Yeah, all right. Well, that's a good point. That is a good counterpoint. So, Kharazim and the Tyrael. So double support Hanzo on the other side.
Making sure they don't have the reset. Also grabbing that Tyrael, because if BlossoM got their hands on Tyrael, of course, I don't think it was the case for this one because Gondar loves Gyarados so much. If they had Tyrael also, that limits the shield. Also, the Sanctification will be canceling all the kills. Along with Greymane pairs up really well. I think this is a good steal away from both sides.
Yeah. It's tough to say which comp I like better. I feel like if Tyrael was on... it's basically saying as ETC the...
You know how to dance,
yeah,
you know how to party.
You know how to dance, you know how to party, basically, right? Like, isn't ETC like that party guy, basically? Like, isn't he a party guy? So anyway, I feel like if BlossoM had gotten Tyrael, the comp would be really strong. But because they didn't, it's still up in the air what they could do with this, because obviously we talked about this 1,000 times that Rhaegar plus Genji is like, it's the anti-synergy. He's very strong with Garrosh, very strong with Greymane, and very strong with Dahaka, but Genji's still a little bit wishy-washy. GLuck has cut out the middleman. They didn't bring a second DPS at all. Karazim's going to do some extra damage. Stukov's going to have that extra CC. And it feels like in Korea we've got a little bit of a resurgence of double support today.
Well, last game was the first one where double support actually won. Fast start was, I believe, was 0 and 8. Yes, it was 0 and 8. Now 1 and 8 after that game. Also, the win rate of double support was 0%. And now with that last game climbing a few percents up there, but
yeah,
we have double support once again. But Karazim has been somewhat of a counter against Genji a few times. Along with Stukov, let's see if they can provide extra damage.
The cool thing about the Karazim pick too is the old ancient Hyde, I guess I want to say teachings, where Hyde and Tempest are able to show the world that with ETC and Karazim you can control members around a boss pit, which most use on Cursed Hollow, but you can essentially just kind of gatekeep one member into a 7-sided strike.
It doesn't matter which one, even Garrosh with the Holy Ground with Tyrael, you can have that 7-sided. Even Palm, I think it's better to be 7-sided because you do have double support here.
Yeah.
Even Garrosh will not be safe if he's isolated with a 7-sided Hanzo's damage. I think that could be a secure kill.
I think if Dudu is really becoming a problem and they feel like Hanzo is in danger, they'll make a switch and they'll do Palm instead to try to add that extra protection. But that's an if, right? And what's more likely is they don't ever feel that way, and Sauron's going to get picked here very likely. Good rotation. They had the camp, so it wasn't a wasted rotation either. It was actually well timed. Grab a camp, see if you can get a kill, and push for the wall. But it's more likely to be the case they're going to try to get picks with it, and they have excellent boss control because Tyrael and ETC and Hanzo and Stukov, and then they have 7-sided strike on top of it. It's like, whoa, like boss control out the wazoo for this team.
They're looking for that, but when Tyrael dies like that, it's going to be not too effective, as they're committing this big 4-man. Does not really pair up with the silence too much. More on low mana, just rolls away. It has been a big problem for Sauron to survive himself. So oftentimes he was picking up Blaze, even Leoric, which he gets to use the trait in a way, so it's at least not as bad. But
sure, and Leoric's got a great escape. Looks like Milky Way is gonna be the next one to die here. BlossoM is just 4-man bullying this top lane. They got the wall. They have Dahaka, so they're getting Soak as well. So this is not a lost cause by any means. Actually, pretty cool to see what they're doing. But yeah, I mean, Sauron had an escape, but he got body blocked there. Going to be aggressive yet again. BlossoM is going to not take this damage to their wall without a fight with this camp, forcing the clear. Not missing any minions mid. It's actually Dudu's down there to clear it. GLuck is kind of in a situation now where it's time to leave and decide how they want to set up for this temple phase, because they have Karazim, they have a lot of firepower. They could look for a pick here to try to be greedy, or they could trade and threaten the Dahaka in the bot lane. Looks like they're leaning more towards that. Might even invade this siege camp while they take the top one. Tyrael's left. He's taking the watchtower, so I take it back. Looks like they are itching for a fight, GLuck is.
Genji contesting, Tyrael's about to go down.
Okay, that was close. Good catch there, GLuck. Cleanse used already here onto Gondar. And here we go, Sauron very low.
Nice silence to keep his teammate alive. That big silence basically. Oh, but drag onto Karazim, not gonna save him.
Yep, Karazim is dead. But Milky Way's got a good stun here, and Hanzo is left to his own devices. Overlord is doing so much damage. They lost in terms of kill trades, but they won the fight. Everyone has to retreat or they're gonna end up losing the whole fight. They're gonna get team wiped. First pick doesn't always guarantee you a win in Heroes of the Storm, despite what Reddit might tell you. No comeback mechanics, 6.5 out of 10. The you know, the amount of damage that Hanzo could put off in that fight versus 5 weak targets meant he was almost certainly just going to get a pentakill. So they steal a little bit of this extra temple. And now they're looking for that pick maybe onto Dahaka. Just watching the minimap here, looks like they're going to steal the camps while allowing Modern to solo this. Pretty wise choice. Going to take this camp first, obviously. It's the way you want to do it. They have Tyrael. Wiz trying to flank, but already spotted.
There we go. There's a silence pair up.
Good.
Oh, the Dahaka is so low. That's going to be secure kill first one, but a trade for Hanzo, which should be BlossoM smiling at the end.
Yeah. And BlossoM got the camp as well.
And meanwhile, not Dahaka, Greymane is actually pushing top.
Yeah, BlossoM got so much out of this. This was a cool idea by GLuck, but a little bit indecisive about how they executed it. BlossoM actually can now probably steal blue side camp. They don't need to. They can just push with this and force GLuck away from it while they get 10. Maybe they try to fight with 10 because Sank's not going to be up. They will have taunt for Gondar. Yeah, it's just GLuck has to walk away. And this is a lot of this comes from Modern Life in the top lane, like you were saying, getting that extra soak, getting the push, finishing the temple. Winning the fight without him was also in part due to the fact they have Global. This is maybe the only boss BlossoM will ever be able to take against GLuck's comp, so they want it, and they're very smart to take it. With Sank, Silence, Holy Ground,
Mosh Pit.
Hanzo's boss clear time, Mosh Pit, 7-side strike, like, this is probably the only boss you're going to get, so you might as well make it count.
Yeah, before they hit 10, I think that was the time that they had to push to the maximum. And they did just that. It works out for the next temple phase too. If that pushes 2 to 4, I don't think they want to maximize that. Maybe it tries to push the top lane even more, trying to pressure into the top. ETC's already there, but Genji's trying to spot them and out. Going into ETC, doing some damage, not going to find a kill. But meanwhile, Greymane has been doing the camp. So
it's cool because they don't know where Greymane is, so they have to respect it. They leave. They don't get the cap. And BlossoM's down here getting soak. They've got they've got Dahaka back mid, and they stole the cap solo, doing everything. Very ballistics-esque here.
I see something from ETC. This stage dive.
Oh boy.
They are going to work on that. No mosh pit. Of course, they have a lot of tools to secure the boss and all that.
Well,
they do have some CC. They're limiting their CC in a way, though.
I mean, I guess it helps them compete with Dahaka in terms of globals.
I think they were way too behind, especially the top lane. I think they really decided to go global in a way. See how that works out.
Eating a lot of damage here. Just got pushed away. All right, stun potential here to lock due to in place. Oh my god, look at all that damage from over.
But it's a trade for the temple shot because Greymane is alone getting down that fort in the mid lane.
Don't forget Dahaka is also getting the top keep wall.
Actually, so much more damage compared to the temple.
And they lose control of the temple. GLuck does because of this. So Wiz gets top wall damage. They retake the temple, at least temporarily here. Sauron might die. That would be a disaster. If that stun had hit, Sauron would definitely have died. You're just going to have to back away, but they win everything with this GLuck. Temple, top, keep wall, mid fort. They've got it all.
They got the fort with the minions, of course. Stage dive is not, I'm not saying it's a bad one, but I felt like they really needed to make that team fight work. It's not really too much of a team fight compared to the mosh pit, which is the biggest tool in this game to turn things around.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't even in a position where they needed to quote-unquote turn things around exactly at that time. Sure, they were a little bit behind. Obviously, they lost boss. But I feel like the Mosh gives us so much potential to lock down Genji, to threaten the Garrosh who's in the front, so you can finally burst through. There's a lot of choke points on this map. And basically your big mid to late game advantage you have with this comp is that you have such fast boss clear time and you have boss control with your heroics. Why not go all in on that? Because what is ETC's stage dive really going to do for you? Like, let's see how much they get out of that. I mean, ETC is split soaking mid, I guess, while they lose their keep wall further in the bot lane.
Late rotation coming out from GLuck, while Wiz is going to get another drag to harass here.
This could be a stage dive opportunity to flank with it, but
the Kara seems way too far away. I don't think that's possible at the moment.
gonna be rough because Dahaka can just teleport down. Saron gets taunted. Here comes the stage dive. It's too late though. Where's the slide?
A +1 onto ETC. That's gonna isolation misses from the power slide. Milky Way might survive this one out, but still they ended up using lots of their heroics, all the tools that they needed.
Yeah, and Saron's dead. No Sank. And this push on the bot continues. Now they can just walk away, knowing that they've done so much damage. This map is kind of like Towers of Doom in that the map does have core health, you just can't see it. Because the temples and the objectives will eventually just destroy the core. So even killing a keep wall like that means that this bot temple they're going to commit to is so much easier to kill the keep with. Top 4's about to go down potentially to that ETC split push, if you want to call it that. Back in the old days, it was something that we saw all the time. It was super strong, but not really anymore.
We had the global meta.
Yeah.
Every single team was picking at least 1 or 2 global heroes, like Brightwing Paul said all the time. Not anymore, as we do have contests on the top. There's a silence.
Okay, BlossoM actually loses control of both for the moment, as ETC's up there. We'll have to come down. Dahaka's already here. There's the drag. Sank. Really well placed here for GLuck. Here's the stage dive. Doesn't really connect with anybody. Oh, that power slide was the saddest. Saddest power slide of all time.
Slow. Way too slow.
Where'd everybody go? Hey, wait a second.
Well, he flew in all the way from top, and then he's going back to top. That's pretty sad. And stage dive now on cooldown. 50 seconds. BlossoM still having everything that they need. Sank is down. BlossoM can force a team fight if they want to go for a boss. I think this is an okay time too, as they have 16.
Yeah.
2 level difference.
It's, you know, they know there's no Sank. Mosh pit, they should know if they've time or not mosh. There's no mosh pit, so I was gonna say mosh pit. I'm like looking at the ETC heroic countdown. I'm like, yeah, they should know if they're like a really smart time. Oh no, there isn't one at all ever. They should definitely know, yeah, that this is an opportunity. GLuck is actually going to try to fight this without Sank, without Mosh, 7-sided, and Hanzo clear timing is what they're relying on.
Are they thinking the Holy Ground is enough for this?
Feels that way.
A massive. They can pull one with Stukov also. Let's see how they try to do this. I don't think BlossoM should be contesting for this either. The stage dive is back now, but Sank 20 seconds. They go in with the Hanzo stun. Dudu's surviving for a second. There's the push. Good
positioning there from Tyrael as well. They steal it. Gondar is going to be the first to fall here. It looks like 50 armor. Whenever you see that, you know it's a bad sign. That means that Garrosh is dying most of the time. This is going to be a free fort. GLuck has turned this game around a little bit here with this team fight. And a lot of it came down to the threat of the positioning of Tyrael. And we saw, you know, basically BlossoM tried to take control but didn't commit fully to that fight. So the positional advantage was GLuck's always. Hanzo does so much damage, the poke comes through. And it's funny because not only do they have double healing and longer sustain with the Stukov heals, but they also have shields and Karzim heals, as small as they may be comparatively to Stukov.
But there is no Holy Ground.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, what is... That's why I was actually quiet during that team because I was staring and I noticed he didn't have Holy Ground, but I didn't even know what that talent is.
Yeah, going for the Law and Order.
I know that
going for the smite build.
That's J-How's favorite talent, not
There's
TV
big
show.
taunt, but Gondar, can he save himself?
Sank. Sank's good.
Oh, the Dragon Blade is basically wasted now. Has to run away as Boss is doing the damage onto the core.
Okay, stage dive coming through to get that extra slow. He's silenced, isolated here. But do they have enough damage to clear this up? Dudu goes down. Don't know if they'll actually be able to stop this from finishing the game. GLuck just has too much damage here. Okay, splitting here a little bit. Everyone's out of mana. Saron's explosion might alone be enough. We're going to find out. He's knocked away. It's going to be close.
9%.
I don't know if it's enough. I don't think so. I don't know how much this does at 1351. Not enough. 2%.
They were close.
2% left, and we are going to see the top push now of Dahaka. Yeah, Law and Order, the talent that nobody ever picks. Like, there is only one talent at 13 as far as I'm concerned. I know J-How's a big fan of Law and Order, but yeah, I know he's talking about that quite a bit. But I like, you know, Holy Ground on this map. They still won the boss, so it's not really worth discussing anymore.
Well, with Holy Ground could have won the game?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
It's hard to say, but respawns are coming through. Hanzo's coming up. Are we going to see another core failure here. They're going to try for it.
Or
Oh,
let's see,
arrow
they
totally misses. That might actually be it.
They
There's
have
the
so
taunt.
much more. They have Ancestral and everything else
Yeah, this is
available
game
for
over.
them. It's going to be game.
BlossoM survives with the 2%. You see the immediate